All right, everybody, this is the final section of Chapter 6. This is graphing a system of 3 inequalities. Now, we've learned how to graph 1 inequality at a time. We've learned how to graph 2 inequalities on the same graph at a time. Now we're going to learn 3 equalities. As you can see on the left-hand side here, I've given each of the 3 inequalities a different color, blue, red, and green. And we are going to plot those on the graph as we normally would in any of the previous lessons in this chapter. So for your first one, you have your m, or your slope, of -2/4, and you have your y-intercept of +8. Start at that y-intercept, +8. Your slope tells you to go down 2, -2 on top, and to the right 4. So I'm going to follow that pattern all the way through. And it looks like you're only going to be able to fit 4 points. Less than or equal to means a solid line. And I am going to shade below. Less than. A lot of shading here. So there's your first inequality, graphed, shaded, correct line type, and we're going to move on to the red one. Now, this says y is greater than -4. I don't see an x value at all, which means that this line is going to be horizontal. It's going to cut through the y-axis at -4, which is right here. This line is dashed because it's only a greater than symbol, and it's going to run, let's change that color, and it's going to run totally through -4. Now, the greater than symbol, not only does it mean dashed, it means we have to shade above. So let's shade above. Now, if you notice, in questions past, when we only graph 2 inequalities, the solution set would be where my blue and yellow shaded regions make green. But we're not graphing only 2 inequalities this time, we are graphing 3. So we can't count this green section as our solution set like we would have in the past. We have to graph one more inequality and shade that one too. So this is going to be where all 3 shaded regions overlap each other. So the third inequality says y is less than or equal to 2x minus 1. You have your m value of 2/1, and you have your b value of -1. So put a b value right at -1. Your slope tells you to go up 2 and to the right 1. I'm going to follow that pattern all the way through the graph. And when I can't go up and to the right anymore, we go down and to the left. Less than or equal to means a solid line. Solid line. And now this time, since we're kind of out of colors and nothing's going to overlap nicely on this green, I'm going to draw lines coming out of this one. So if it's less than or equal to, that means we are shading below this line. Now, our solution set is where I have those green lines that I just drew, and I have a green shaded region. That's where all 3 of the lines overlap. We're kind of triangulating the solution set here. and that would be in this section right here. Here's your solution set. That's where the blue, the yellow, and our green lines all meet up. Now, the second part of this on the bottom of your worksheet says, determine if the following points are solutions to the system of inequalities above. So I'm going to do these in red, and we're going to plot these points and see what falls where my red S is on the graph. -10, 5 means left 10 and up 5. That's right here. Although that's in the green shaded area, that's not where those green shaded lines came out of our green inequality. It's not by the red S at all. So this is not a solution. +2, +4. Right 2, up 4. Right 2, up 4. Well, again, that's in that green shaded area, but it's not where the red S is. It falls on the wrong side of our green inequalities shading. No good. 4, 6, right 4, up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this is an interesting one. That red dot, and let me touch up our blue shading just a little bit. That red dot falls right on the line of green shading. Now, this is key. Look at the line type. That line is solid, which means all the points on that line are included in the solution set. This is a solution. It gets a check. 6, -7, right 6, down 7. Well, again, that falls in our blue shaded area. That falls in our green line shaded area, but there's no yellow shading going on there at all. That is not part of the solution. -3, -3, left 3, down 3. Again, falls on the wrong line of our green inequality. The green line shading is not on that side. No good. And 0, 0, the origin. The origin just misses again. It falls on the wrong side of that green inequality. No good. Okay. On the back of this page, you guys are doing the same thing that we just did, okay? Just remember, graph your 3 lines. Remember, these slopes are really 2 over 1, and this is really -1 over 1. And your y is greater than -5 line is going to be horizontal through the point -5 right here. So I'll give you that one. That is a dashed line through -5. Do not forget your shading, because that is key to determining the solutions. And look at that. I gave you the third inequality right there.